to Deep Sleep Stories. Thank you to everyone who's been listening. If these stories help you relax or fall asleep, a short review, comment, or sharing the podcast with someone who might benefit is a simple and meaningful way to support the show so that we may continue to offer it for free. Now, take a slow, gentle breath and let's begin tonight's story.
Hello, and welcome to Deep Sleep Stories. Tonight, you are invited to unwind and settle into a realm of peaceful imagination, where gentle words and soft images fill your mind with calm. In this soothing session, you will be exploring a tranquil landscape of crimson mesas, desert breezes, and the enchanting glow of the phoenix lights near Sedona. Before the story begins, take a moment to notice your breathing. Inhale deeply, filling your lungs with fresh air. Then exhale slowly, imagining any tension flowing out with your breath. Envision yourself sinking comfortably into soft cushions, letting the day's worries melt away. As you listen, you might hear your own heartbeat slow to a gentle rhythm. If any stray thoughts pass through your mind, let them drift by like clouds across a quiet sky. Now, give yourself permission to pause, to let the world's demands fade into the background. Soon, you will journey to a desert haven where warm winds caress the sun-baked earth and brilliant lights shimmer across the night sky. But for now, focus on the rise and fall of your breathing. Imagine each inhale drawing in relaxation, and each exhale carrying away anything that might weigh on your heart. Little by little, your muscles release their hold, your heartbeat steadies, and your eyes grow heavy with a gentle drowsiness. Take another deep breath, feeling the air move in and out with smooth regularity. Allow a soft wave of contentment to float gently through your body. With each exhale, let go of any remaining knots of tension. Your senses feel calm. The space around you becomes cozy, the air warm and inviting. You deserve this moment of complete rest, and as you feel the peaceful warmth spread over you, let us slowly shift into a dreamy narrative, told in a comforting tone, designed to lull you closer to sleep. Under the broad sky of a late summer evening, a solitary traveller stepped onto a narrow footpath winding through Sedona's red rock desert. Soft golden light from the setting sun glimmered along the towering cliffs, illuminating layers of ancient sandstone and revealing gentle ripples carved by time. The traveller, wrapped in a light shawl, breathed in the scent of juniper and desert sage. The hush of twilight spread in all directions, bringing quiet to the valleys, mesas, and ravines. An owl's distant call blended with the faint murmur of a warm breeze stirring the sparse brush. The sky above shifted from a soft pink glow into deep purples and blues. As the day's last rays slipped beneath the horizon, the traveller felt a subtle stirring in the air. The desert's canvas turned from bright and sunlit to dusky and velvety. Above, emerging stars began to twinkle, each one a distant companion in the growing darkness. Despite the emptiness of the land, there was a comforting presence in its open spaces, a sense that something greater watched over every cactus and tumbleweed, guiding them through the timeless dance of day and night. With each footstep, the traveller felt the soft crunch of red dust underfoot. They paused to rest upon a smooth rock, warmed by the afternoon sun, and allowed their gaze to wander. The hush of evening draped around them, as if encouraging stillness. A gentle wind picked up, carrying echoes of distant canyons and whispering of hidden secrets. Slowly, the traveller's breathing matched this rhythm, as though in silent conversation with the desert itself. Before long, the sky deepened, unveiling a magnificent blanket of stars overhead. Constellations shimmered into view, their patterns weaving ancient stories across the celestial dome. The desert's fragrance grew richer in the cooling air. A handful of luminous insects danced around a yucca plant, blinking and weaving through the night. Soft chirping from crickets rose in the quiet, forming a lullaby that spread through the tall grasses. In that twilight hush, the traveller noticed a faint glow at the horizon, like a subtle ripple of light, growing stronger with each moment. It seemed to flicker in and out of view, not quite the colour of starlight, nor the soft gold of distant city lamps. Instead, it held a gentle radiance, like moonlight reflected on water, but shifting in hue. Drawn by curiosity, the traveller found themselves stepping away from the rock, following the beckoning glow. Along the winding path, each step led deeper into the enchantment of the desert. Towering red rock formations loomed like silent guardians. Mesas stretched out, forming silhouettes against the starry sky. At times, the traveller paused to lay a gentle hand on the rough bark of a juniper tree, absorbing the quiet energy that pulsed through its twisting branches. The desert floor, cool against the traveller's feet, felt both ancient and alive. As the hiker ventured on, the glow at the horizon brightened, morphing into shapes that danced just at the edge of sight. Soft pulses of luminous colour illuminated the sky above the desert floor. It was as if a quiet festival of lights had gathered overhead, but with none of the noise or bustle. Here, only serene wonder filled the warm night air. Across the distant ridge, beams of faint orange and pale turquoise flickered, then receded into shimmering ribbons that teased the darkness. With slow, unhurried breaths, the traveller leaned against a smooth boulder, lifting their gaze to watch this atmospheric ballet. It reminded them of the mesmerizing radiance sometimes seen after sunset, a phenomenon whispered about by locals who spoke of phoenix lights dancing near Sedona. Yet these lights had a hushed, ethereal quality, as though weaving through unseen corridors in the air. No sound accompanied them, no wind gust disturbed them. They simply glided, serene and patient, revealing themselves only to those who paused to look. In the tranquil hush of the desert night, the traveller remembered stories of wise guardians believed to roam these lands. Indigenous legends spoke of guiding spirits in the night sky, offering gentle counsel to those who wandered with open hearts. Perhaps these lights were their way of communicating, inviting watchers to be still, to observe, and to let themselves be filled with a sense of awe. In the quiet, the traveller felt no rush, no pressure, only acceptance, as if time itself had stretched into a comforting lull. Softly, a gust of wind stirred the mesquite bushes, carrying a gentle rustling sound across the dry terrain. Overhead, stars twinkled in subtle harmony with the shifting lights, as if responding to one another across the night sky. The traveller's eyelids felt heavy, lulled by the mesmerizing patterns that formed, then dissolved, only to reappear with gentle splashes of radiant color. Occasionally, a soft hush, like a whisper of wind, swept across the rocky slopes, wrapping the traveller in a blanket of calm. Taking a step further along the path, the traveller saw a small clearing ahead, where the land levelled out. There, under a crescent moon, was a secluded expanse of flat rock, beckoning, the perfect place to rest, observe, and sink deeper into the velvety embrace of nighttime. Softly, with mindful intent, the traveller settled onto the stone, crossing their legs comfortably, letting their shoulders drop in gentle relief. High above, the swirling lights shimmered in slow arcs, coexisting with millions of stars. In that quiet place, the traveller's thoughts drifted back to calmer memories, perhaps reminiscent of a quiet childhood evening spent watching the sky from a backyard fence, or gazing at flickering campfires under a canopy of trees. A wave of serene gratitude filled their heart, and they let that feeling flow from head to toe, dissolving any tension. A soft hush settled over the clearing, and the traveller allowed themselves to sink into that perfect stillness. Minutes stretched, though the traveller barely noticed the passage of time. The body grew warm against the cool surface of the rock, wrapped in a gentle desert breeze. The faint desert scents of creosote and cacti wafted through the air. Overhead, the phoenix lights continued their graceful dance, sometimes disappearing entirely, only to re-emerge in a new glimmering pattern. Their pastel hues, silvery blues, pale golds, and sometimes faint pinks, flowed around one another. The traveller watched in peaceful fascination, feeling each breath become slower, deeper, quieter. Soon, the hush of midnight settled across the desert. The wind grew even more delicate, like a feather's caress across the cheeks. The traveller felt their eyes half-lidded, almost drifting into a dreamy state. the red rock formations became gentle silhouettes against the moonlight, their sharp edges softened by the gentle hush of night. In the distance, the faint shapes of desert animals rustled. A fox slipping behind a boulder, a jackrabbit hopping across the sand. But none disturbed the stillness. By now, the lights shimmered in a tranquil dance high above, forming arcs that seemed almost playful. Sometimes they would flicker with an extra sparkle, as though winking at the traveller below, reminding them that in moments of quiet, the universe offers gentle wonders. The traveller felt a subtle warmth spreading across the chest, a gentle reassurance that all was well in that moment, that the desert's silence was a comforting lullaby rather than an empty void. As night moved forward, a few wispy clouds drifted across the horizon, briefly obscuring patches of starlight. Yet, the phoenix lights persisted, now gliding in faint, rolling waves, as if painting an invisible canvas. Their presence was calming, weaving together the wisdom of ancient earth and the mysteries of the nocturnal sky. For a few breaths, the traveller closed their eyes, listening to the soft lull of desert life. The rustle of brush, the quiet hum of the breeze, and the steady pulse of a heart at rest were all in perfect harmony. When the traveller opened their eyes again, they found that the lights had drifted farther west, quietly leading the gaze toward distant mountain ridges. Feeling an unspoken call, the traveller rose, moving slowly, carrying with them the desert's calm. Each step was gentle, barely disturbing the sandy trail, as though nature itself invited them onward. The path meandered between tall rock spires and clusters of prickly pear cacti. Moonlight lit the way, creating delicate silver outlines around the desert plants. Eventually, the winding trail opened onto a gentle slope overlooking a wide vista of Sedona's red rock terrain. The traveller paused in awe at the panorama. The land stretched in broad swaths of softly illuminated canyons and towering formations. Shadows from the moonlight painted gentle patterns across the desert floor. Far off in the distance, the phoenix lights continued their graceful journey, perhaps guiding the traveller toward an even deeper stillness. Here, the hush felt profound. Even the crickets seemed to quiet for a moment, as though in reverence for the scene. The traveller found a smooth rock ledge, just tall enough to sit comfortably, allowing the body to rest and the mind to settle. Night draped the desert in a velvety cover, and the temperature dropped just slightly, enough to soothe any lingering tension. The faint hum of distant wind played in the traveller's ears like a lullaby. A handful of shooting stars traced quick paths across the night sky. Their presence was fleeting yet magical, each one whispering a gentle reminder that life's moments come and go in a graceful dance of their own. The traveller allowed a small smile to form, appreciating the beauty of chance and the serenity of the present. In that space, time seemed to slow to an almost imperceptible crawl, each moment blending into the next in a continuum of peaceful enchantment. Gradually, the traveller's eyelids grew heavier, yet there was no rush to leave this realm. The desert's hold was comforting, the air sweet and embracing. The swirl of lights far off in the distance carried on, softly pulsing, as though at one with the heartbeat of the land. The traveller could almost feel that gentle rhythm within themselves, a slow, steady tempo that harmonized with the desert. It was in this quiet communion, earth, sky, and wandering soul, that the traveller felt a gentle glow within, as if any worries that once weighed on the mind were quietly carried off by the drifting lights. Here, in the hush of the Sedona night, an unspoken promise of rest and renewal was made. The desert's ancient presence, shaped by millennia of winds and waters, was a silent witness to countless dawns and dusks, a testament that each new morning can bring peace, clarity, and hope. Looking up again, the traveller noticed how each of the phoenix lights, though distant, sparkled with a soft luminescence that felt personal. They seemed to beam a gentle invitation to lie down, to close the eyes, to surrender to the calm hush of night. Slowly, the traveller slid off the rock and onto the soft, sandy earth, using a small backpack as a pillow. Gazing one last time at the sky, they released a long, slow exhale. Every muscle relaxed, from the toes to the temples, until the entire body felt heavy in the most comforting way. In that peaceful half-dream, memories of the day, its tasks, its concerns, faded into the background. The traveller sensed only the easy rise and fall of their breath, the faint glow of starlight, and the soothing presence of that mysterious luminescence dancing in the distance. The quiet was all-encompassing, free from demands or expectations, offering only the desert's ancient lullaby. Shadows stretched gently across the land, forming soft shapes that lulled even the mind's stray thoughts into rest. Hours passed in an unhurried flow, moon and stars shifting in their celestial arcs. And still, the desert remained peaceful. The phoenix lights, for all their quiet brilliance, drifted off until only the faintest glow remained, like an echo of a lovely dream. The traveller slept soundly, wrapped in the hush of the canyon walls, their spirit united with the desert's tranquil essence. Eventually, just before dawn, the horizon brightened with the earliest sign of sunrise. A pale glow touched the edges of the sky, softly erasing the darkest blues and revealing subtle shades of lavender and rose. Birds began to stir, adding their gentle voices to the hush, greeting the new day with a reverent chorus. The traveller, feeling the slight change in light through closed eyelids, remained in a heavy, blissful slumber, the body embracing every moment of deep, restorative rest. In that dawn hush, the desert breathed a sigh of peace. The traveller's mind floated through the final stretches of a dream, still touched by visions of swirling lights and starlit canyons. Though soon the sun would rise, shining its golden rays upon the red rocks and warming the desert floor, for now all remained calm. There was nothing to do but rest, to let the body and mind absorb the gentle energy of a night spent in communion with the land, sky, and silent dancing lights. Now, as you drift at the edge of awareness, feel the pull of gentle sleep welcoming you. The story's imagery can stay with you, quietly guiding your thoughts back to the hush of the desert whenever you need it. Any lingering tension is released on a slow exhale, dissolving into the peaceful night. Your limbs grow heavy and warm. Let your breath find its own natural rhythm, steady, soothing, and deep. Each inhalation brings in calm. Each exhalation lets go of any strain. Picture that wide, star-filled sky over Sedona, with the mysterious phoenix lights shimmering in the distance. Imagine them drawing you further into a realm of rest. There is no rush, there is only ease. With each slow beat of your heart, you float deeper into the warmth of sleep. Whatever dreams may come, trust they will be gentle and supportive, echoing the quiet majesty of the desert. Allow the memory of desert winds and softly glowing lights to cradle you. Your eyelids feel soft and relaxed. Your breathing is smooth and unhurried. The hush of night wraps around you like a loving blanket, full of comfort and serenity. Feel the waves of peaceful energy lulling you into an even deeper slumber. Good night, dear traveller. May your rest be as tranquil as the silent desert sky, and may you awaken renewed and at peace. Sleep well,